My name is Muazzez Riordan. I am the project manager for the proposed Route 20 Corridor Improvements project, which will be presented today. I work in the project management section at the Massachusetts Department of Transportation's Highway Division headquarters in Boston. Welcome to our live virtual public information meeting. Please be advised that this virtual public meeting will be recorded. During this presentation, we will discuss the existing issues in the project area and explain the proposed design. The purpose of this meeting is to inform the public of the project and solicit feedback. Project team. Before getting into project details, I would like to introduce the project team and panelists for tonight's presentation. Joining me here are Ann Sullivan and Joe Frawley from Mass DOT District 3 office. Colin White from HNTB, Mass DOT's design consultant for this project. The notice of the public information meeting appeared in the Shrewsbury Chronicle and in the Telegram and Gazette on August 31st, 2022 and September 7th, 2022. The notice and the flyer were also posted on Mass DOT website on August 5th, 2022. The meeting was advertised on Mass DOT's official Twitter account. A fact sheet has been prepared and posted to the Mass DOT website along with this presentation. You will find documentation which may be useful to you in understanding the project and submitting formal comments in response to this presentation. The QR code shown in this slide to be directed to the Mass DOT website. Please feel free to scan it. We will be introducing the project, provide some history, what we are trying to accomplish, and provide information on the design. At the end, we will review our next steps and also leave time for comments and questions. The project is located on Route 20 in Shrewsbury and stretches 1 mile from the Green Street, South Street intersection to the Valente Drive intersection. For purposes of defining the existing and proposed roadway configuration, the project is split into two portions. The western portion of Route 20 within the project limits consists of 1 eastbound travel lane and 2 westbound travel lanes. The eastern portion of Route 20 consists of 2 travel lanes in each direction. In addition to evaluating the corridor, 5 major intersections were studied for improvements. Previous to this project, Mass DOT and the town worked together and prepared a master plan for the economic development of the Route 20 corridor within Shrewsbury. The planned developments along the corridor necessitated improvements to the Route 20 roadway. In February of 2020, the master plan was completed and the final public meeting was held the following month. The preferred alternatives derived from public meetings showed support for shared use paths, sidewalks, and turning lanes to improve safety and congestion issues. In September of 2021, the road safety audit was conducted to evaluate the existing issues within the project area. After the road safety audit, alternative analyses were performed to guide the selection of the preferred alternative, which was completed in May of 2020. We will be discussing these findings with you during this meeting. Prior public involvement efforts included many public meetings regarding the master plan, including meetings with local elected officials and legislators. An interactive map was created for the initial design of the proposed Route 20 improvements, which can still be found on Mass DOT's website. Now, District 3 Traffic Engineer Joe Frawley will discuss the existing issues, the alternatives studied, and our proposed design.
Thank you, Moses. Through the master plan effort and the road safety audit, several issues were identified within the limits of this project. The intersections of Route 20 at Walnut Street and Valenti Drive are both identified as high crash locations by Mass DOT. Additionally, the portion of the corridor between the wetlands and Valenti Drive has been identified as having a significant rate of fatal and injury crashes. Another concern that has been noted is high travel speeds along this section of Route 20. As part of the master plan effort, it was noted that anticipated developments near this corridor would increase the congestion that already occurs, particularly at the existing intersections. Some of the roadway deficiencies that contribute to the issues noted on the corridor include substandard shoulder widths, a lack of dedicated turning lanes, limited sight distance at side streets, and a lack of pedestrian and bicycle accommodation. During the alternatives analysis, Mass DOT and our consultant took a closer look at the crashes to better understand what patterns can be identified. In the western portion of the project, many of the crashes are rear end crashes, which can be caused by congestion. Additionally, left turning vehicles and the traffic signal at the South Street Green Street intersection. It was found that nearly 3/4 of the crashes in the eastern portion of the project involved a vehicle turning left, either into or out of a side street or driveway. What do we want to accomplish? The purpose of the project is to improve safety for all road users, including pedestrians and cyclists, to reduce high travel speeds, particularly to make it more difficult to travel the corridor at excessive speed, to accommodate future traffic, using projections that include proposed developments along Route 20, and to reduce congestion within the project area. What alternatives were considered? Before discussing the alternatives, I wanted to briefly show the existing cross sections along the roadway. There are 3 lanes in the western portion of the project, 2 westbound, 1 eastbound. On the eastern portion of the project, there are currently 4 lanes, 2 in each direction. This slide shows the existing control at each intersection. The South Street Green Street intersection is signalized. The South Street East intersection is not signalized, and left turns out were recently prohibited. The Walnut Street intersections are offset and both not signalized. The Valenti Drive intersection is also not signalized, and both left turns and through movements out of Valenti Drive are currently prohibited. The alternative 1 plan is the preferred concept from the master plan, with some minor adjustments to the cross-section dimensions to meet current Mass DOT standards. This alternative provides a shared use path for pedestrians and cyclists on the south side of Route 20 and provides a sidewalk for pedestrians on the north side of Route 20. The western portion of the project includes the addition of a second eastbound travel lane and dedicated left turn lanes at select intersections. The existing traffic signal at the South Street Green Street intersection is improved, And a new traffic signal is proposed at the Valenti Drive intersection. On the eastern portion of the project, a two-way left turn lane is provided. This sheet shows in graphical view what is proposed as part of alternative 1. At the South Street Green Street intersection, the additional eastbound lane is shown, as well as additional turning lanes. And this shows that the traffic signal equipment is being replaced. At the South Street East intersection, the left turn prohibition is maintained, but a left turn lane is provided for people traveling on Route 20 westbound looking to enter South Street. As occurs today, people on South Street East looking to access Route 20 westbound need to find an alternative route. During the master plan, a connector roadway between Walnut Street and Valenti Drive was proposed to allow for turn restrictions at the Walnut Street South intersection, where Walnut Street South will be right in only. As I mentioned a few moments ago, the intersection at Valenti Drive will be signalized in this alternative. The existing turn prohibitions exiting Valenti Drive would be eliminated. Alternative 2 builds off of the master plan alternative. As in alternative 1, there is a sidewalk proposed on the north side and a shared use path on the south side of Route 20. As mentioned for alternative 1, traffic signal improvements and additional turning lanes would be provided at the South Street Green Street intersection. And South Street East would maintain the prohibition on left turns out. However, alternative 2 proposes a roundabout at the Valenti Drive intersection instead of a traffic signal. And a second roundabout is proposed near the middle of the corridor. Additionally, instead of a two-way left turn lane on the eastern portion, a raised median is proposed. This is the main difference between alternatives 1 and 2. What is the preferred alternative? The preferred alternative is alternative 2. Mass DOT selected alternative 2 as the preferred alternative based on several factors, including safety, the ability to address the purpose of the project, and environmental considerations. We will now take a closer look at the proposed improvements for the different areas within the project. The improvements proposed at the South Street Green Street intersection are very similar to those that were proposed as part of alternative 1. As mentioned for alternative 1, Route 20 westbound will have a left turn lane into South Street East, but South Street will be limited to right turn out only. No left turns will be allowed. With this alternative, vehicles will have the option to reverse direction at the proposed roundabout in the middle of the corridor, which is approximately a third of a mile away. In the yellow color, this plan shows the 5-foot wide sidewalk that is proposed on the north side of Route 20 and the 10-foot wide shared use path that's proposed on the south side. Moving further east, the Sunbelt Reynolds driveways will be right out only, and Commons Drive will be right out only as it is today. Left turn lanes on Route 20 will be provided for both Commons Drive and Sunbelt Reynolds. A raised median will start on the western side of this wetland area. Retaining walls are proposed to avoid permanent impacts to Article 97 land that is present in this section of the project. A partial 2-lane roundabout is provided at the lumber liquidators rent-to-fence driveways. The roundabout is located here to provide opportunities for vehicles to reverse direction to access all of the abutting properties between the wetlands and Valenti Drive. The roundabout will be designed to accommodate trucks, including large tractor trailers. With the slower speeds at the roundabout, crosswalks across Route 20 will be provided. A raised median is proposed between this roundabout and the proposed roundabout at the Valenti Drive intersection. All driveways will be right in, right out only. The raised median is shown on this slide as well. And as mentioned previously, all driveways and the 2 Walnut Street intersections will be right in, right out only. As mentioned earlier, the Walnut Street intersection is a high crash location. So the turn restrictions, combined with providing opportunities to U-turn at both roundabouts, will provide a significant safety benefit. A partial 2-lane roundabout is also proposed at the Valenti Drive, Shrewsbury Village Shopping Plaza intersection. As mentioned for the other roundabout, this roundabout will be designed to accommodate trucks, including large tractor trailers trucks. With the slower travel speeds at the roundabout, crosswalks across Route 20 will be provided. The intersection of Route 20 and Valenti Drive is also a high crash location, so the roundabout will provide a significant safety benefit. With alternative 2, the connector road between Walnut Street and Valenti Drive is unnecessary, so it will not be provided. Unlike traffic signals, roundabouts can be combined with a raised median to better manage access along the corridor. The existing crashes associated with left turns into and out of the driveways and side streets are addressed. It was mentioned earlier that managing speeds was part of the purpose of the project. Roundabouts include deflection that require people to slow down to 25 to 30 miles per hour at the roundabouts, regardless of the time of day. Both alternatives improve accommodations for pedestrians and cyclists. The addition of the roundabout at the lumber liquidators and rent-a-fence driveways provides an additional safe location for pedestrians and cyclists to cross Route 20. The preferred alternative provides a significant reduction in the number of crashes. As part of the alternatives analysis, MassDOT's consultant prepared a safety analysis, which is done to compare the impacts of design decisions on the number of crashes that may occur in the future. The chart on the left side of the screen compares the existing roadway configuration, the alternative 1 design, which is the master plan design, and the preferred alternative design with the roundabouts and the raised median for the eastern portion of the project. The safety analysis showed a 70% reduction in the number of total crashes, and more specifically, an 85% reduction in crashes resulting in an injury or a fatality for the eastern portion of the project. The chart on the right side of the screen shows the projected crashes based on the signal improvements that are proposed at the South Street Green Street intersection under either alternative. It shows a 15% reduction in the number of total crashes and a 30% reduction in the number of fatal or injury type crashes. Mass DOT has been building roundabouts throughout the state and throughout central Massachusetts for a number of years because they have been found to have many benefits when compared to other intersection types. Roundabouts have fewer conflict points, fewer crossing conflict points, and slower speeds at the intersection, all of which have been demonstrated to significantly reduce the number of crashes that can result in either an injury or a fatality. Roundabouts do not require stopping at a red light, so usually there is less vehicle pollution. Additionally, the roundabout center island provides opportunities for landscaping, and it's at several locations along the corridor. The table on this slide shows numerous other multi-lane roundabouts that have been constructed in the Northeast that have either similar traffic volumes or similar approach speeds to the roundabouts that are proposed on Route 20. For comparison, the Shrewsbury roundabouts will have an average daily traffic volume of about 23,000 vehicles per day, and the existing approach posted speed is 45 miles per hour. Two examples from New York are highlighted that I'll speak more about on the next slide. These two sample locations, one in Niskayuna, New York, and one in East Greenbush, New York, have traffic volumes that are similar or higher than the Shrewsbury locations and have approach speeds that are the same. In both of these cases, the roadway with the high traffic volume and the high approach speeds runs from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. I've been through both of these roundabouts, and they both seem to operate well. This helps confirm the operational analysis that's been done for the roundabouts in Shrewsbury, which show that they will operate well, even in peak hours under future traffic volume conditions. How will pedestrians and bicyclists be impacted? The project will include a shared use path on the south side of Route 20, a sidewalk on the north side of Route 20, and roadway shoulders, vertical curbs, and grass buffers will all be provided, which will help separate pedestrians and bicyclists from vehicles in the roadway. The project will also introduce crosswalks across Route 20 on the eastern end of the corridor at Valenti Drive, in the middle of the corridor at Lumber Liquidators Fence driveways, and at the western end of the corridor at the intersection of South Street and Green Street. I will now give the presentation back to Moses.
Thank you, Joe. Environmental permitting. Measures to avoid, minimize, and mitigate environmental impacts during project construction will be implemented. As the project advances, any impacts that are identified will be reviewed by the appropriate agencies. The town and its residents will be notified and engaged throughout the entire permitting process. What is the construction approach? Access will be maintained during construction. There will be lane closures and traffic shifts. Bicyclists and pedestrians will continue to have access to the roadway during construction. If necessary, roadway closures and detours will be limited to short durations. Next steps. After this public information meeting, we will work on the 25% design, which we anticipate to be submitted in the spring 2023. Design public hearing is anticipated in summer of 2023. Design is expected to be advertised in 2026. How will we keep you informed?